Good morning. My name is LaTonya Tucker, and my informative speech is titled Childhood Obesity. Imagine for a moment having a child that's overweight. Must be frightening for a parent. There's things that an overweight child would have to deal with that normal-sized children will never deal with. One thing, they'll be talked about, picked on, and even teased about their weights. So here today, we're going to learn what obesity is, how to overcome childhood obesity, and how to prevent it. There are factors that weigh in about obesity in children, and one of the main ones is family genetics. According to Dr. Jeffrey Hyde, the Health Guide, he did an article called Is Obesity Genetic on healthcentral.com, and he states that there are families who tend to be overweight. He says you've seen them. Mom, dad, and kids all are obese. Dr. Jeffrey Hyde states that those kids were doomed to be obese. Maybe. Here we see a family. Mom, dad, and kids, both overweight. So yes, we see family genetics does factors into that. Bad eating habits leads to obesity in children. According to Sarah Pentico, she did an article on livestrong.com site, and it's called Bad Eating Habits in Children Because of Their Parents and Family. And she states that you're one of the biggest influences on your children, and that they're more likely to adopt your eating habits. Sarah also states that those who seize practices by the rest of the family, whether they are good or bad. So we here see that bad eating habits is simply poor diet. Not eating healthy. Eating the wrong types of food brings about these issues. So we need to know the correct portion size when feeding our children, which is very important. According to Dr. Vincent Anali, who did an article called Portion Control and Childhood Obesity on about.com. And he states that kids who are overweight are usually either getting too many calories, aren't active enough, or both. On the portion size, he states that to keep your child from getting too many calories, we need to understand portion size can be a good place for your child to start at. Dr. Vincent Vanelli says that if you start with knowing what kind of portion size your child needs, simply putting as much food on their plate as they're used to eating usually is not a good idea, especially if you always make them clean their plates. Overcoming obesity brings about a healthy lifestyle, learning to eat healthy, knowing the right types of food that we need to eat. We can go online and research information that shows and tells us the types of food that we need to be eating. There are so many different sites that we can go to that will give us informative information of that. The types of issues that leads to obesity is children being put down by their parents. It's very important that we don't put our children down. We don't need to talk about them or talk about them to other people or even to themselves, because that brings about depression could easily come upon them, and that causes them to want to eat. Children being bullied at school is a top priority that brings about obesity in children. According to Ann Hardy, who did an article called Obese Kids Are More Vulnerable to Bullies on CNNHealth.com, states that children who are obese are 65% more likely to be bullied than their normal peers of normal weight children. And overweight kids were 13% more likely to be bullied. Those are high numbers right there. So we need to understand that what this obesity brings about to our children. So trying to get them to eat healthy, we need to take them to the grocery store, allow them to understand the different types of food in the grocery store, let them feel, see, and touch the food, even allow them to try the different types of food. So here we see that obesity is a learned process. It's important that they get their yearly checkup done, the well checkup for them. This gives them the information of what are their key numbers, their glucose, their sugar, sugar levels, which is the sugar level, the cholesterol, their blood pressure, even their weight. They need to know what their weight is. So this brings about a daily life full of positive experience will overcome this obesity problem that we're talking about. Spending time with the children are very vital for them. And exercising and eating healthy, according to Angela Jenkins, she did an article on exercising with your children, healthy habits that last a lifetime, on healthymichigan.org. And she states that our children love it when we act, when we spend time with them and are active and involved and interested in things that they are doing. There are no exception activity. It's no exception. So we understand that getting healthy is very important. Finally, we see that it's very important to live, teach, and explore new things. You know, we need to see healthy eating done in our families. Spend time with them. We spend so much time on things that really doesn't matter. But what we need to do is we need to change our mind thinking. Can we do it? Do we care about our children? Do we want the best for them? Yes, we do. So it's important to know what childhood obesity is, how to overcome it, and how to prevent it. Thank you.